put a spell on you. Cause you're mine. Put a spell on you. Cause you're mine.
What kind of fuckery is this? You made me Mr. Slick Ricky.
I don't know what kind of citrus this is.
I done gave some blood to it a few times.
Uh-huh.
It's coming. It's getting this sacrifice. It's getting this. Pricked me a few times. But that's okay. So those new branches growing out of the thorns?
No,
They're actual thorns.
yeah, until a tree reaches a certain height, then it seems to like grow beyond the thorns.
Okay, so that's just a natural protection.
Yeah, keep critters from eating it. I've got some the ones that we'll probably pick some fruit off the ones we go out there, but they've got thorns like this long,
Wow.
that big around at the base. I've had from mowing around them, you know. Oh my God! You know.
Those are little blades.
But it seems to work. Critters don't eat them.
Yeah. Nature has its way.
Check this this feather on top here
Yeah.
is a heron feather like those other two back there
Oh wow.
that were we encountered when we were making this film, mountain lion,
Oh.
and it became like a really important part of the central beat of introducing the one of the main characters, who's like a very angry scientist dedicated to environmental conservation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going to be some sort of just like she's out in the field with a notebook talking about crabs.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this heron that she got to sort of improv on about protecting the river and stuff.
Put a spell on you. Cause you're mine.
What kind of fuckery is this? You
So that out there in the middle is a big live oak tree,
Slick
and it split,
Oh, okay.
and we got some cables and stuff, and tried to keep it from splitting. But it's grown up so much you can't see the actual
Yeah.
tree itself, but it's
It
pretty,
looks like a giant bush.
yeah, it's a pretty
That's probably
impressive
'cause
tree.
because it's split. That's dope. And all this corn grows during the summer, you guys?
I think just kind of grass. Is that
Oh,
right,
just
Joe?
grass.
Yeah, it's just grass. It originally was pasture, and then it was a hay field,
Oh, okay.
and then Pete was keeping it mowed with his tractor until he wasn't able to do that anymore. So this is only like 2 or 3 years of growth. This is what happens if you just let it go. And the grasses will fight their way, you know, till the most dominant takes over.
For your film, that would be all right.
Mm-hmm.
And in a matter of 5 years, it'll be a forest out here if you
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, Pete worked with all the, he didn't make friends with all the old local farmers, all the old rednecks and everything like that, and got out there working with them and learning how they grew watermelons and how they grow hay and how they grow all the various crops around here that that they do. Learned a lot. Like I say, Pete always remembered everybody's name, and so at first the rednecks and the hippies and all that were kind of like separate, you know.
And Pete brought them together.
Well, yeah, all of us did, because they started coming up there, and you know, and we started going up there, so I mean, yeah, it all worked out. But yeah, Pete was a contact point for them. Threw them together. They were, you know, they realized, yeah, we're just people like they're just people. And then once all the rednecks started smoking pot, then it got, you know, then it was all over, you know. Then it wasn't bad. Then it wasn't bad until the political shit started getting too heavy. I mean, you used to be able to go in there and have an intelligent conversation with somebody on the other side, you know, and talk to them and try and understand why they feel this way about it and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Until it reached the point where now, if I had a Biden sticker on my car, I'd be afraid to go to Williston.
Wow.
Because not only they won't just key it, they'll fucking slash your tires, smash your windows. I mean, this is serious Trump country down here.
Wow.
These people are crazy.
What would solve the whole thing in the border if they would just start shooting? Only shoot a couple and they would go home.
You think deterrence would work?
If they would shoot.
So how did life improve here during the Trump administration? Was it a visible, clearly a improvement in quality of life, or
Fuck no.
it was just a mental
All
thing?
of us were looking at it, freaking out about what the fuck is this guy doing to our country, you know? And the rednecks, or the Trumpies, there's a lot of Southern Baptists.
White people don't produce enough children. If you look at the demographics, they have abortion and the blacks. So when you do that, you need population growth. You need roughly 1.6 or more in order for the economy to grow. And since we're not producing enough, or we are aborting them, so you have no other choice except to bring in new blood and young people, and the Europeans are not coming over, so what's left is what you see.
And they're generally more self-sufficient, right? Like people who have their own land, own farm, so they don't need as much government involvement. Is that what the appeal was?
I guess the whole idea is that they, you know, they're railing against it. They don't want the government in their lives.
Yeah.
They don't want the government screwing up what they're doing. They've got all this land. They've got all the money. They're doing what they want. You know, if the government starts regulating them, telling them that they can't pollute and they can't do this and they can't do that, that's government. But at the same time, all these fucking little municipalities like the county I live in, they want to come down on people because my house doesn't pass code on this and that and the other, you know. And I live out in the fucking woods. You can't come to my house unless you're trespassing, you know.
Yeah. So how would you even know? Yeah.
And it's getting worse. I mean, you notice nobody said anything political, because there were 2 or 3 people here that would have got up and walked away, or, you know, or said, you know, had something. And at this point, most of us are feeling like if you believe anything that Trump says and or that, you know, then you're a fucking idiot. You know, you can't see what a crazy son of a bitch he is. And if they don't believe him and support him anyway, just because he's not Joe Biden, then they're just enabling Trump to be as crazy as he is. And he's getting every time I listen to something he says lately, it's more and more off the rails. I mean, that man's crazy as a shithouse rat. And he wants to fuck up this country. He wants to destroy democracy, because democracy won't let him do exactly what he wants he should be, you know. I think some bitch ought to be hung for treason myself, but it ain't up to me. Might be a good thing.
I don't even know how he got in position to even be elected the first time, let alone be considered again. You know what I'm saying? Like, that,
Well,
It's wild.
yeah, that to me is like insanity. That's the world we live in right now, though.
Right.
There's so many things that could be put into that category of insanity, and it's like literally a part of our lives.
but I mean, you know, he gets up there and starts talking about he's going to wage war against anybody that's not a Trumpy. You know, he's going to fire everybody that works for the government and fill them with people who are willing to sign a Trump loyalty pledge.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he wants to eliminate, you know, anybody that would stand against him. He wants to wage war against states that are Democratic, you know. So if you're not a Republican Trumpian, you're his enemy.
So he wants to start a civil war, a modern civil war, 2024.
Well, I think that Miller dude that works for him is a history buff, and I think he studied the Nazi. You know, they use the way that they did things in Europe before World War II as a playbook. You know, they're doing the exact same thing.
Oh, here's a nice little buck.
Where?
There by that bush. Head down. Yeah, it's like at my 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I see.
I see him now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got a herd of them that come up in my yard. One of them chomped about half of one of my pot plants last week. That part I could do without. All right, there aren't more birds up and about. Time of day, I think they'll be starting their business.
It was active earlier. It was like a pack of dogs back here or something.
I heard one that direction, one that direction too.
It sounded like they was at it with something last night.
Well, there are coyotes now here too, a lot of them. And they run in packs.
That's what it was then. And whatever the local dogs here, they was going crazy.
That's probably what it was.
That's how I was like, who's going inside? I don't know what I'm about to run up out of these woods. I'm sitting here in this chair, smoking, and a damn bear come at me. What?
Yeah.
I don't know what's coming out there. I'm not gonna know what's in them woods making all that noise until it comes out the woods. And is it too late at that point? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it might have been too late. That's why I came inside. Like,
Legit.
I could see this from the window.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know what's beyond them woods. It's a whole nother world up beyond that tree line. That's how I look at it. You know?
Mm-hmm. Some hours last night too.
There's owls.
Yep.
What kind of fuckery is this? You made me miss the slick Ricky. Have thought I did.
Yeah, I feel like you should just come over here.
That deer can stand there next to this 5-foot fence, and you go up in the air pew, and be on the other side without having to do anything. Watching them do it is neat because it doesn't look like they do anything. It looks like they're here and then they're here, you know. Well, that was cool.
Yeah, they can't leave. Straight LA leave.
Right. Vertical takeoff.
Well, I think we ought to go get something to eat and go sit out in the real country. This is the edge of town here. We go out in the real country. Hopefully this fog will burn off some.
I put a spell on you. 'cause you're mine. You better stop the things you do. I ain't lying. No, I ain't lying. You know I can't stand it. You're running around. You know better, Daddy. I can't stand it 'cause you put me down. Yeah, yeah. I put a spell on you.